I have a pretty bad headache right now. It comes from having a meltdown. See, when I'm cursing at people and telling them to fuck off, and telling them what pieces of shit they are, I'm having a panic attack because I can't see my loved ones, and I'm trying not to have a full-on meltdown. If you loved me, you would have gone in with me. If you would have loved me, you would have told the truth. If you loved me, you... I have to be afraid to go to the police. Anyway, I'm gonna play this first video. There's 3 of them. I'm gonna take a walk up to the Hanson's Petroleum and get myself a cup of coffee while this plays.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you in a minute.
Yeah, who is this?
This is Scott.
DaCosta.
Yep.
That's a shame. I don't feel comfortable with you being there. I'm trying to get you put in prison for the crimes that you've committed.
Well, I didn't commit any crimes, and I still am the sheriff, so...
I'm aware that you're the sheriff. That's why I called the state patrol.
I'm here with the state patrol, too, so...
I'm aware I can see you.
Well, good.
I'm calling my autism advocate now so that she can be on the phone with us.
Awesome. You want me to hang up so you can do that?
I have 2 phones now, but I suppose I could hang up on you. Hello. I'm almost there. There's actually 3 officers there. Usually there's only 3 officers that they're planning on making an arrest. It looks like a cocky bastard. Actually, I'd like you to tell them about how many calls you have made. Your name, officer? Or trooper? Can I get your card? Thanks, sir. Very nice.
Actually, brother, I forgot to put them in this uniform here. I can get you my name badge.
That'd work. Write it down.
All right.
I'd like to make sure everybody's body cameras are on.
Right there, that red blinking right there.
Very good. Thank you, sir. You as well? Yours on? Yes, sir. All right. Could you tell them? Here, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, this is Trooper David. Yes, ma'am. What can we do for you? Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're outside. It's a little windy here.
We can tuck up underneath there. That's where I was earlier. Let me right here at the windbreak is, though. I'll go ahead and put my bag down and set my stuff so that you can get these.
What do you want me to speak to her about?
I'd like her to tell you about how much effort she has made in trying to get someone here in person to help.
Okay. 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 Well, there are two deputies here with me, and they are, my understanding, they're going to take whatever report he needs to give them. Is there anything else you want her to explain to us, Sean? Or
I got some stuff I'd like to explain while she's on the phone.
okay, go ahead.
These two deputies, or this sheriff here and many of his deputies over the last 4 years have outright refused to take a report from me. That's where this situation ended up to begin with. My best friend was shot in the head in 2017 in December, and I've been through hell, and I was not allowed to speak. I wasn't allowed to defend myself, and every officer that I went to moved me off. That's what it's like when you're disabled and you're a male and you're being abused. People tell you you need to man up. The thing is that I have been gang stalked for 4 years. I'm not schizophrenic. I'm autistic. I've got literally a backpack there that's got so much evidence. I mean, there are literally hundreds of conversations there with witnesses who can verify everything that I've been talking about and explaining. The problem is that they keep calling me mentally ill and using it to loosely translate as schizophrenic. I'm not schizophrenic. Autism, it doesn't mean that I hallucinate stuff. It means
that I am able to do things most people can't. I pick up patterns immediately. Human behavior is an easy pattern to figure out. I grew up in the system, being beaten up, being raped, growing up with minorities, being in lockup facilities. And not because I did anything wrong, but because my parents would stay out for me. I have records from family members, I have hospital records, I have everything I need in order to back this stuff up. The problem is that I have to go to officers like this who have repeatedly done nothing. There's a deputy in town named Deputy Hahn, who I have been attempting to get a protection order against because of his conduct, and please stop smiling if you get to the cause, but that's just demeaning. I have repeatedly come to the officers here for help and for aid, repeatedly requesting for somebody to be there in person for it to be recorded. And no matter what, that's used when they can call you mentally ill, turn off your body camera, say whatever you want about it. We have literally called, she has called the different places. I have called the state patrol office. This is literally, I want to say the 5th or 6th time just this year easily. I mean, it ends up me making a runaround, and I explain to them what's going on. But as soon as people hear the word mentally ill, or that there were cops involved, they shut their ears off. The problem is that I've been threatened, harassed, and assaulted for 4 years for crimes that I didn't commit. And I don't know how many times you would expect to go to police before they actually do something. But when you've gone through 6 months of abuse, which when me and Natalie stopped being friends and I left Virginia, I went through 6 months of abuse before I did anything drastic. I mean, I had literally been to the point where I had been assaulted enough times, threatened enough times, and can't see my loved ones, and had to move around repeatedly. I mean, it's a terrible thing, especially for an autistic person, to constantly have to move and be separated from their familiarity. And I've literally moved 40 times in the last 3 years since Natalie was killed. Whenever I go to the officers, I get this treatment everywhere. Before Natalie was killed, I was trying to get a day in court, and all of these hoops that I jumped through for an entire year to get this help, so that I could get a court date, and so that I could get help in court and help with computer stuff, because I'm not good at it. And the thing is, it's a really long story now. It's 4 years ago. And it all convoluted with the officers breaking the law, lying outright, turning off their body cameras. I do have plenty of evidence. I have your work. Thank you very much. For my own safety, I need a safe place. Right. Someone there in person to help me because I am disabled. I can't turn my disabilities off. And the more abuse that I take, the worse I am. I'm trying to explain that I'm not trying to be a bad person here. I am overwhelmed with 4 years now working this. I was slandered all over the internet, never allowed to defend myself. The 2 news groups that did talk to me when I did speak with them, they chopped up what it is that I said, and they used every choice word they could to try to make me sound like the bad guy. And the thing is that this has continued for 4 years. And I have been repeatedly told, and I have record of this, and there should be record on their body cameras if they don't like the record. And I have that on YouTube. Most of my friends and family and all of them, because of the slander, because I haven't been able to defend myself, have been extremely cruel. I need to be able to be protected well enough to actually hold the evidence against myself. And the other the other thing is, I have a lot of evidence of child abuse, and I have to be afraid to go to the officer to turn that in. Now, you heard her, 50 phone calls today. I've made literally thousands, and everybody tells me that all they can do is give me a referral, or it's out of jurisdiction. While I can prove that all of these cases, the officers broke the law and took advantage of my disability.
So what specifically would you like here to do?
Well, sir, I would like you and Meg and the lady with Adult Protective Services to work together to get me someone to Facebook, and I don't want to do that. I want a day in court.
Okay.
But these officers, what they have done is prevented me from having a day in court, and I can prove that too. The tactics that they used, which officers in specific that it was.
So with you saying you just keep getting referred on to different stuff, I hate to tell you that right now, but I just want you to hear me out, okay? So as far as like investigations and stuff like that go, if you've got legitimate evidence like you say you do, okay, I'll take you at your word right now, all right? If you have what you say you have, what I can do is put you in touch with one of Nebraska State Patrol's investigators. Okay, I hate to tell you that because I know you said that's happened,
Right.
and that's the way my agency works. That's the way I have to do that. Okay.
Her and I also made another call. Several of you guys, they're off party today. I reported them. They're on here, just like this. I don't want to put it on the internet, and I'm holding off the best that I can. I don't have the resources to take care of myself because of the abuse from this factor. And it's not just from the general public. The abuse from the general public has prevented me from being able to have a day in court. The abuse by the officers has prevented me from having a day in court. And they have done everything that they can to try to paint me as schizophrenic by loosely using the term mentally ill. The officers that I was trying to turn in here 2 years ago took me to the hospital in Scottsbluff, outright lied to the lady who was supposed to be helping me. She was supposed to be there so that I could make the report. The Costa told me, hey, if you have a problem with my officers, come to me first. But then I went to him first, and when I did, he used that to cover up for his officers and to have me committed by lying outright to people like Jen Beebe. The problem is, Jen Beebe, she was supposed to help me with the things that Meg has been helping me with. That is specifically her job, and she was supposed to do that last December, and she didn't. I've been involved in finding missing people. I've been involved in finding dead people. I have a great many friends who are dead that it's verified. I've been to 17 different places since Natalie Barnes was killed that have been in the news, and I can prove that too. The thing is, this is all things mentally ill doesn't mean that they have a valid excuse for not looking at the evidence. I'm being abused. You may. It's in real life too. Sorry, it's in real life too. That's the issue. Anywhere I go, Washington State, California. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, so like I was explaining to Sean here, I don't wish to give him the same runaround if that's what's been happening. However, I myself I'm just a road trooper. I don't handle investigations, anything like that. What I can do is pass this information on to one of our investigators with the State Patrol and have them get in contact with him, and that they are much better equipped to go about this than what I'm capable of.
Sure.
So if that's the route you want to go, Sean, I will absolutely get your information, get that stuff forwarded on for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We can go about that. I believe that the deputy over there, Kramer, have you had interaction with him?
I have. He's a jackass, but if you're here, hopefully he'll
Okay,
do
so
something.
what he's here to do is, I believe you have a report you would like to file with them right now.
I would.
Okay, he is here to do that. I will stand by the whole time. If that's what you wish.
Thank you, sir. I
Okay.
do. Sir, I'm scared shitless of both of those officers. But he showed up after the Natalie situation, and he's basically just doing what he's told.
Okay.
I'd like to show him all of the stuff that I have on his boss.
Okay.
We need somebody to run against that man for sheriff. Everything that I've been told to do, I've done. But I have to have somebody here in person. Otherwise, going to any of these agencies gets me
Right.
exactly what you're telling me. You know?
Right, and I wish that it could be different for you in this exact moment, but this is the route that I have to approach it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. If you're ready and willing to do it, we can go get that taken care of with them. I'll stand by with you the whole time,
Yes,
and
sir.
we can move on from there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll hand your phone back to your Sean.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Meg, will you stay on the line? All right.
If you want to file a report with the
Yes, sir. October 12th, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes, I know what day and year it is. What happened? I do. There's a whole lot to go into. Basically, when you guys want to investigate the situation over there with Amy and them, I went over there and started recording every single interaction over there. I got a lot. The problem is I can't trust you guys with the evidence. I need help making duplicates so that you guys can have one and I can have one to make sure that none of it is destroyed. In those recordings, it shows that Josh wanted me to take care of his house while he was gone on 2 separate occasions and told me that, hey, if this happens again, if you can't get a hold of me, like, just, take care of the cat, plug in your stuff, use the electricity, just make sure everything's safe. And I did that. And yesterday, now I'm not sure how extensive you guys have an understanding of their meth use. The last time you and I talked regarding Amy, she was meth after gold. The interaction just prior to that is on the internet right now as we speak. It was a safety issue and concern where she was afraid for her life. Now, I did the right thing in that scenario, and on multiple occasions, I have done the right thing and been victimized to people's drug use. Now, I did as he asked. I wasn't able to get a hold of him. He was gone. His place was all open. His dab rig for his marijuana was hanging out of his vehicle with the door open. I mean, he had alcohol bottles out in his yard. So I did, first of all, the thing that I figured he would want me to do, which is pick up his mess and put it in the house so that little kids aren't walking by and messing with it. Is that the right thing to do? All right. And then I made sure the cats were warm. And I did charge my stuff. I mean, I followed all of his instructions. I even tried to call him on multiple occasions. Now, I have the evidence. It is recorded. It was on this, but I transferred it to the computer. I need help making copies so that you guys can do your jobs. The situation over there was that when they got back, Josh and Amy, I don't know if they'd gotten into an argument or what, but Josh comes out of the vehicle. I was excited to see him. I didn't even have time to turn on my recording device. And as soon as I did, Josh come out yelling and screaming and hollering and, grabbing a hold of me and pushing me and shoving me, like, not nice, you know, he's obviously pissed off, and he starts yelling at me about doing exactly what it is he had asked me. Now, then when I left, well, right before I left, he told me, you know, I better not see anything about this on YouTube or on Facebook, or I'm going to have you charged with breaking and entering and trespassing. Now, the problem is that right after they did that, Josh called me up, and I recorded this as well, and he was yelling at me and screaming at me, and I said, hey, this is all the stuff that you told me to do in this scenario, and I followed your instructions. Did I not? And he said yes. So the fact is that I was literally assaulted for doing what I was doing, verified by him, and they were trying to blackmail me. Like, okay, fine, I am fine with that. I am not any nicer to anybody than any of you guys have been to me. All of the tactics that I use to utilize, I learned from you guys and from the other predators.
When you say assaulted,
He shoved me on multiple, I want to say at least 3 times, maybe 4, but it all happened very fast.
I seen you.
And then he grabbed the whole,
You're walking gingerly. Did he hurt your hip?
my back. No, sir, I didn't.
But obviously, that's him pushing you hurt your back.
A lot. My back has always got problems. But the thing is that I can't take this physical abuse, and I have to be afraid to go to you guys. Does that make sense? And you know what? I don't take kindly to threats. They told me that they would charge me with breaking and entering and with trespassing. If they try to do that, that's fine. I have the recordings that they told me.
If I get you a little thumb drive,
Yes, sir.
transfer it, what you have here, onto that thumb drive that you already have recorded.
Yes, sir. But I have about 200 hours worth of recordings to go through. I can zero it down to the time of day yesterday, and I'll have to click through all of them.
That way, if I give it to you, then you could go through it. That way, we're not touching your stuff, because I don't want to be responsible for deleting anything. That way, if I gave it to you, then you could get what we need.
Yes, sir.
Does that make sense?
That is acceptable.
I don't want to do any. I don't want to touch your stuff. Is what I'm getting at. I want
That
to
is
help
acceptable.
you. Obviously, you know what we need. I just don't want to overstep my bounds. Is what I'm getting at.
Well, I've tried to give you what you need before, and you had to send me Scott Club.
Well, I think there's a lot longer story to it.
There is, and that's a very good, a lot longer story. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. We all make them.
At the end of the day, I want you to be healthy.
Oh, very nice choice of words. In order for me to be healthy, I need to be able to show all of this evidence in court. This is straight up been gang stalking. The way the police have handled this is not appropriate. It is 6:15 p.m. All right. You're the investigating officer. Aren't you also investigating crime that I was supposedly committed? So that's not a conflict of interest? Any dealings with this department are a conflict of interest.
John, you're not a big agency, buddy.
I know you're not a big agency. That is no excuse for criminal activities. Especially against the disabled.
Sean, you tell them that we also
Do what? I also called Adult Protection Services last night after the incident. They wanted me to make sure I told you that. Yeah, they weren't the only ones I called. I made about 9 calls today on my own. They just all ended up being a runaround. When I make phone calls, I make them in bulk. They say, call this number, I call that number. They tell me to call this number, I call that number. I get frustrated, and I still have to take these weeks. All right, now, would there be any way that we could go down to the police station and I could write this down there? Because it's going to take about an hour. I can write the date.
That's going to be up to the deputy sheriff, and they're the one handling this part. Okay.
All right, Deputy Kramer says that is all right. Oh, sorry. Okay.
You're good.
All right.
They're the ones that
Blocks will meet you there. 3 blocks. No, sir. Not with you. You're off. All right, I'm gonna hang up on you. I'm gonna get down there at sheriff's department or it's indoors, and I can sit and make a full report. If you can, I'd like, while I'm doing that, I'd like you to get a report to the state law. All right, thank you.